friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is another vlog, but this one is going to be my Words of Radiance vlog. If you have not seen my last video that just came out, it should be my Way of Kings reading vlog, so I will link that down below. But it's the first day of Chaos-tober, so happy Chaos-tober. And as I've said many times now, I am going to be working my way through the Stormlight Archive as well as other Brandon Sanderson works. So we are ready to kick it into high gear with these. This is one, just in two parts. If you have no idea what the Stormlight Archives is about, the first book follows a couple characters, one of which is Kaladin and another named Cheyenne, and there is a war-ravaged world that is full of these scattered plains, where essentially it's like literally huge plains that you have to use bridges to cross over all these chasms. There's a lot of other mythological, magical things going on in the background that affect our main characters in some way, but it was only book one, so I haven't seen like the big climaxes quite yet of how things are going to connect. So that book has a lot to do with war, and as I said before, it's like a really angry world where there's just like constantly some form of battle or upheaval going on. There are also these creatures throughout called Spren. The first book surprised me with how much it reminded me of a Miyazaki Studio Ghibli type film. It was just like the perfect amount of magical, where there was like obscure creatures and little bits of magical influence, and I loved it. So I'm really excited to get into book two. The vlog that I did for Way of Kings is mostly spoiler free if you're interested in watching as well. There's just a little bit at the end that I get into my like screaming can't handle things thoughts. This vlog though is probably gonna have a lot more of spoilers just before the first book. Like, I'm going to talk about certain characters. You're going to know whether characters lived or died just because whether or not they're in this book. I'm really excited to pick these up. I hope that you are excited to join me on this little vlog. I have no idea how long this will take me. I don't really have specific goals that I'm trying to do, like every book a week or anything like that. We will just go with the flow and see what happens. I will try and take you anywhere with me if I do anything exciting, but last vlog I ended up just not being able to share anything but my emotional thoughts, and I didn't go anywhere. So we'll see what happens, but thanks for being here. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you're excited to watch, and let's get into some thoughts. Hello, so I need to head out for work, but I'm exactly 100 pages in. I didn't realize that. Already starting to do a little bit of tabbing. And I just wanted to share my first few thoughts before I head out. One of the biggest things that I'm happy about is that I am a fan of Cheyenne more now. Like, when we finished Way of Kings, I wasn't super on board with her, and since finishing that book, I found out that that's not a super unique opinion. It seems like a lot of people don't really like her in the first book, and even just a little bit we've gotten already, I am way more invested in her. So what I didn't like about her in the first was just her more modest religious views on things. It's just not something I was going to connect with. And in this one, we're seeing her, I don't want to say she's like straying from those views, because I think that might still pop up, but it's nice to see her being more adaptable and being a little more realistic in the situations that are happening. So I really, really appreciate that. I have the biggest crush on Yasna. Like, I am so obsessed with her. I'm gonna start blushing. She is definitely my new like fictional crush if I had to choose one. She is just so freaking smart and so freaking amazing, and I love her so much. I was also just generally pretty surprised by how soon after the first book this one takes place. I just kind of expected there to be some sort of time jump, but we really, like, a couple days have passed and you are thrown back in the middle of it, which is kind of nice because you don't feel like you're playing catch up quite as much. And for a series this large, it would be annoying if things were like constantly repeating, where you just like are always trying to figure out where you're at. So it's nice, and he's done a good job of referencing things that happened in the first book that need to, like, refresh your mind. Because obviously if you read this when it came out, you didn't just pick it up the next week. You had to wait a little bit. Like, I'm going to have to when I get caught up. I saw someone online who said that the series is going to end in, like, 17 years. And wow, that's a long time. I'm excited. And, you know, journey before destination. But it was just a little bit of a put in perspective how I'm going to love these characters and then be separated from them for so long. So I'm going to go continue reading. I don't really have any updates on Kaladin's perspective. I don't really think that there's anything I really need to touch on. I mean, I love him. I'm going to continue to love him. And I'm excited to see how this is going to go. I am really intrigued in how Dalinar... I love Dalinar. I think Dalinar might be, like, contesting Kaladin for my favorite character. I love him so much. And he wants to officially, like, he has announced that he needs to unite the Knights Radiant. And that is just not something people are going to take very well. And I like that Cheyenne is going to maybe be getting betrothed to Adolin. That's, like, crazy. Yeah, there's actually is a lot happening, but less with Kaladin. He's right now just kind of figuring out his place in this army and protecting Dalinar and what, you know, how he's going to manage so many more people than he ever has before. So it's interesting, but I'm not, like, mind blown by anything new. The last thing, and then I need to go to work, is I really love what we're learning about the Spren. Like, if you would have told me in the first book that the Spren would continue to be developed, I just didn't necessarily think it was going to go down that route. And what we're learning is so interesting. And I'm so happy Erin had us read Mistborn first, because I do think parts of the overarching, like, universe of, you know, the cognitive realms and the physical realms and all of those discussions, I'm happy I had a bit of an understanding from Mistborn, and I think this is going to give way more information about it, but it was nice to already kind of have an understanding and a concept of those things before seeing them just, like, so casually being brought up in this one, if that makes any sense. So really, really enjoying it. I'm going to continue to read, and I will check back in. We are doing Chaos October sprints tonight on either Ruby or Lizzie's channel, so I will be staying up late reading, and I'm really excited to see more happen. Okay, if you're watching this, I'm going to reiterate that I am going to get into spoilers. So, you sat here and you fucking listened to me talk about how much I freaking love Yasna, and then she fucking dies this early? Are you kidding me? You didn't warn me? I don't even know what to say. I so did not expect this. I'm so sick to my stomach. I'm so upset. Like, I'm not even in tears, I'm so upset. Anywho, also, this was giving Ship of Magic. I don't think it's literally not going to pertain to the story at all. It just, like, happened to be talking to a ship's sentience for a moment, and I was like, is this Ship of Magic? Good morning! Today is Saturday. I am about to go run to get groceries. Tonight is a friend's birthday party, so I'm looking forward to going to that. I have an update for you. I have gotten to part 2 of Words of Radiance. Got lots of little stickies growing. There's my bookmark. I'm really, really into it. I definitely want to read some more today. I was doing some reading sprints with Lizzie, Ashley, and Ruby yesterday, so that was a good time. I have a couple of things to talk about, not like a ton, but first of all, reeling from the death of Yasna. Can't believe none of you warned me for that. That was, like, disrespectful. I literally had texted Erin talking about how much I loved Yasna. I was like, I think I have a crush on her. Like, I'm so obsessed with her. She's my fictional crush. Dead. I'm so mad. So, you know, I kind of dealt with that, reeled from that, kept it hustling along. And nothing else, like, super crazy happened in those sections other than, like, Shallan has gotten to this new land and she found some slaver merchants who she's, like, kind of convincing to take her to the Shattered Plains. Like, that's going on. The biggest thing that stuck out to me were the interludes in this section. So we learn so much about the listeners, which is actually what the Parshendi refer to themselves as, is listeners. Like, they're like, the other term is what humans call us, but it's not what we identify as. And it discussed so much about how they had different kind of, like, forms of evolution that they can, like, enlist in themselves or, like, evoke in themselves. And talked a little bit about how there were so many forms of intelligence, and then the whole reason they killed Gavilar was because he did something that made them feel like he was going to ruin everything. We don't really know what he said, but they felt like he was going to ruin everything, so they felt the need to basically take these, like, dull forms and allow themselves to be forced into servitude so that they could hopefully rebuild again. Really, really interesting. There's, like, so many different forms of intelligence, but right now they only know, like, 5 basic ones, and the whole culture is trying to study and adapt and, like, get that back. So you're following the shard bearer of the listeners, and it was just, I did not expect that much info dropping, as well as to still want so much more. So I was really, really into that. Really hope we get even more from that perspective. Then we also got the perspective of, like, another Surge Binder who also did not make it, but he's being hunted by somebody that will probably be important later. And then we got a bit more of the traveling trader who goes to, I think her name is, like, Risen, and she goes to this floating island situation where it's, like, on a Chol creature's back, like, giant, obviously. It reminded me a lot of when you watch Avatar and you actually learn a bit about, like, those big monster islands. So yeah, those are all my thoughts. I continue to question what is happening. I continue to want to know more. I'm gonna go run those errands I need to run. I need to get, like I said, groceries. I need to get, like, a little gift bag for my friend's gift and some other things. So I will check in with you probably closer to when the party is so that I can tell you anything else I've read. Hello, I read nothing. Had a bit of a mentee bee for the last few hours, but we're getting ready to go out. Here's my friend's gift. I did some sparklies, my little earrings, match my Sparks Fly Speak Now sweater. So we are getting ready to head out. Hello, it's Sunday evening now. We've just had kind of a really lazy Sunday because yesterday's party was really, really fun, but we stayed out a lot later than I'm used to doing. It was kind of just like a bonfire, s'mores, hanging out situation. I did become addicted to a new game I played there called Suika or Suika. It's a fruit game that I'd seen before online, but I had never played it. And a lot of people were playing it there, so then I got a go of it and basically didn't ever want to stop. So this morning has been playing that for a little bit, just kind of hanging out. I did manage to read another 100 pages of Words of Radiance. This is the wrong copy. Words of Radiance. So I've made quite a dent in this one now. Honestly, really, like, I've said this, I feel like every time I've gone to a clip that I don't have much to say, and then I say a lot of things. This time I really don't have much to say. Definitely a bit of the book that dragged a little bit more. I hope we see something that kind of picks up the pace again and keeps me intrigued, but right now I'm hitting a little bit of a lull point. Still hopeful that something grabs my attention again, but I'm going to keep trugging along. Tonight, though, we are going to go see the Avatar in theaters, where they are basically going to play the show and do a live orchestral performance of it for Avatar: The Last Airbender. Very, very excited because I just watched it for the first time this year, and Nick has been a fan for a very long time, so that's going to be a great evening. I'll try and get any clips that I can. I don't know how no filming it is, but I will take you along as much as I can. And then hopefully we both have tomorrow off because we're going out pretty late tonight for this, so I should be able to read a good bit more tomorrow.
It's been a while since I've had your exposure. Next time I see you, I can't hold my composure. Missing your smile and your rosy cheeks, yeah. Trying to be patient, but it's been weeks, yeah. You're gonna be in my head tonight, I can't focus. Yeah, you got me choking. How are you so evoking, yeah. And I can't decide if I'm going crazy lately, 'cause I've been missing you like every day. The world was falling and you always had my back. How am I gonna pay you for that? Reunited with you, give me someone that, oh, gonna steal your picture, just so you know I miss you. I'ma print it out and pin ya. Gonna wake up, give me a pinch, yeah. Wasting time, I'm lonely, dying so slowly. Can't you come home to me? 'Cause without you days feel like months, and I've been drowning in my own apartment, driving on my own, because it's been a while since I've had your exposure. Next time I see you, I can't hold my composure. Missing your smile and your rosy cheeks, yeah. Trying to be patient, but it's been weeks, yeah. You're gonna be in my head tonight, I can't focus. Yeah, you got me choking. How are you so evoking, yeah. And I can't decide if I'm going crazy lately, 'cause I've been missing you like every day. I'm longing for your escape. It's calling me every day. Come by my side today. I can't help myself today. It's been a while since I've had your exposure. Next time I see you, I can't hold my composure. Missing your smile and your rosy cheeks, yeah. Trying to be patient, but it's been weeks, yeah. You're gonna be in my head tonight, I can't focus. Yeah, you got me choking. How are you so evoking, yeah. And I can't decide if I'm going crazy lately, 'cause I've been missing you like every day.
Hello, we had a wonderful time last night. It was such a wonderful show. They had lights that would go with the different songs they were playing, and it was just such a great collection of just Avatar love. It was so heartwarming to see how many people were there. Like, it was almost like a sold out show of fans of Avatar, and it was just so cool to see. One of my favorite parts, though, was like, I've never been to a theater performance where you're really encouraged to cheer and scream for like the characters you love. Like, they give you a little speech before that they want us to interact, and so it was just really fun to hear people laughing really hard and making jokes, and it was just a really, really good night. So we got home, didn't do anything else because it was like 10:30, and now I'm about another 100 pages into Words of Radiance. I am almost on part 3. I just wanted to jump in here because Kaladin has just woken up from this vision where he basically fell asleep like while guarding during a storm, and he had this vision of like God's face talking to him and telling him that, like, someone's coming. And so he ran and woke up Dalinar, and now they're trying to get away and find somewhere safe, and we don't really know what's going on, and it's just really, really intense, and I'm really enjoying it. This is the, like, a high intensity moment that I wanted to happen. So that's going really well. I'll probably think of, like, other things to share in a minute, but I'm really tense, so I wanted you to see me feeling really tense. Hello, it is Tuesday evening. I just got home from book club. It's like 10 p.m. right now. I tried to update you earlier when I was in the car, but the way the sun was shining, it wasn't happening. So, hello, I'm here now after work. Just a couple things I wanted to update you on for Words of Radiance. I'm almost done with part 1. I have about 100 pages left, and then I will pick up part 2. The biggest takeaway I have so far from this is the fact that I am enjoying Cheyenne so much more. I feel like the first book talked a lot about her being so clever and her being so quick-witted, and you did see it, but it was always in, like, a remark or a jest of another person. And it's just really cool in this one that we are seeing her think faster and think on her toes while actual, like, serious things could have, like, happen as a consequence. So she needs to kind of, like, pretend to be a different version of herself to feel a certain sense of confidence, and sometimes she has to take on a complete fake identity just to get some information. And I like that we're seeing that quickness that was established earlier actually being used in day-to-day situations beyond jokes and jests. I think it's a really good character development to see happen. So I've just been overall enjoying her sections a lot more this one, which is really nice. Because on the flip side, Kaladin is really stressing me out. So I'm enjoying having her sections kind of as, like, a break between it. Anyway, that's really all that I have to update in terms of my thoughts. But I think it's pretty significant, like, you know, for a book that is very character-driven. Seeing character development is exciting. So, really enjoying this one. I earlier said I think that I was, like, needing something to grip me a little bit more, and I would say that I have been gripped. I wouldn't say there's anything in particular that really happened that gripped me more, but just in general, the story has progressed in a way that I'm a little bit more intrigued by. So, I'm going to continue reading. On a not-so-fun update, we do have another hurricane coming to hit Florida, which is great. I am, like, the most northern Florida you can get before you're basically in Georgia. Like, I'm up in Jacksonville, so we're not very worried about having to evacuate or deal with anything like that, which is, you know, we're very thankful and happy about that. I definitely feel for all the people that are having to come here, like, evacuate to here. My heart definitely goes out that they have to deal with that. But as a result, just to play it safe, I currently do not have work for the next 2 days. So I think I'm going to try and see if any of my friends want to do some reading sprints. But if not, I'll probably do them alone for most of the day until the possibility that we lose power. So I will keep you updated, and I will check in probably just sometime tomorrow after sprints have started and see what else I read. I probably will read some more tonight, though, so, like, you might see me again, but unlikely. Hi, the wind has certainly started to pick up today, but I am doing some reading sprints with my friends. We're not, like, live, we're just doing them hanging out. And I just finished part 1 of Words of Radiance. I'm really into it. Like, I don't want to put it down. I'm having a great time reading. We just got this big reveal where we found out a little bit more finally of why the war kind of started, like why they assassinated, or took the credit at least for assassinating the king. And it wasn't much, but we found out I think her name's like Eshonai. She said that they had to kill him because he revealed his plans, and she was like, we're not, I mean, if you read this, you know, but she said, he thought we would be excited to have our gods return, or like we would want that, and I'm hooked. I really need to know more. So I'm gonna go start the next part, and I'll check in a little bit. So I just finished part 3, and pretty heavy stuff. We had that huge duel between Adolin and the 4 shard bearers, in which Kaladin and Renarin jumped in, and Kaladin got a little overzealous over the win and confronted Amram in front of everybody, and that has not gone well. And so now we are seeing Kaladin being shipped off to prison. Elhokar wanted to full-on execute him, and Dalinar at least fought for something lighter until Elhokar can calm down. Not good. This is where my friend said he starts kind of struggling a lot more with what is happening to Kaladin, so I think that a good chunk of what's to come can be pretty intense. I mean, as far as I know, Kaladin could end up in prison till the end of this novel. I'm not sure. I hope it doesn't go that long, but that has certainly put a wrench in a lot of plans. So I am stressed about what's going to happen from here. The entire duel scene had my blood pumping, and I was definitely pretty anxious. So on to part 4. I'm doing live sprints with Lizzie right now, and I only have like a little over 300 pages left, so I would like to finish this today. Hopefully that means you might not see me as often unless I like have emotional reactions, but I'm trying to hustle and get through this because I'm just thinking about how long it could take me to get through Oathbringer. So we're gonna make some progress. I do find it really funny. We are just at the part where Shallan and Kaladin have fallen into the chasm when the bridge collapses. And I just think it's really, really funny how both of them think that they saved the other, and the other one is trying to like, oh, it must have just like been a lucky fall. And then they're like, I can't believe I saved. Like Kaladin's like, oh, gosh, Shallan, that must have been such a lucky fall. And then he's like, I don't know how I saved her. And then Shallan is like, oh, Kaladin, that was such a lucky fall. I don't know how I saved Kaladin. And I just think that is really funny. I don't think it's going to go this way, but in a dream world, I want Shallan, Kaladin, and Adolin to fall in love. All 3. Live happily ever after. That's what I want. I'm back already. Kaladin realizing the pain Shallan has been through, and his reaction to her smiling anyway, it really got me. Dalinar, God, he is the definition of a man. I love him so much, and him confronting Amram with Kaladin, and then Kaladin saying thank you for believing me. Hi, so I am on part 5. I have honestly not much left to read. Like, my audiobook says 6.5 hours, but I have 3 times speed on, so hopefully a lot less time than that. I'm hooked. I don't want to look away. Lizzie and I are still having fun on sprints. That is still the plan. Right now they are all traveling to the center of the Shattered Plains, which is what Shallan has wanted the whole time. So things are going good. It's just now every time there's like a quest part, that's when you start losing me. So that's happening. I did just get a package in though, because I got some new sticky tabs. I love reading this. I love tabbing this. Holy crap. It is eating through all of my red book tabs. So I tried to find a pack that had a lot more red colors so I could keep reading, because I have like so many more of these to read. I mean, once I get caught up to at least the new Way of Kings, like, I'll have a long time to grow a collection of red ones again. But right now I need a lot of red ones. So, but yes, I'm happy to have these. I'm happy to be reading this. And that's the evening tonight. Nick did go out to get me a coffee, so that was really nice. And I think that's going to be the pick-me-up I need to really bust this out, you know? So, I'll be back. Also, if you're wondering why I haven't mentioned Syl's death, it's because it didn't happen. I am I'm refusing to believe that it happened. She's fine, she will be back, and that is all that matters right now. Okay, I should have just known that when I said I was going to read this, that I was going to be in. Like, when I said I was going to finish this, I should have known things were going to go down and be crazy. And I'm just so overwhelmed and shocked by what's happening. First of all, when Cheyenne went to look into the eyes of that Parshendi on the ground, and she screamed because their eyes were red, that was really, really intense. I was like, that's scary. And then the fact that Relaine is back, like, that's insane. And I got very emotional when he talked about feeling like all of his family is just, like, different now and corrupted by monsters. Like, that is so scary. I have definitely decided that I love Cheyenne. I don't know why I'm having a hard time pronouncing it right now. I think because listening, I gotta listen to how they say it again. I wasn't really paying attention enough. But I love her. I'm so obsessed with her now. She is so smart. She is so smart. And then when Dalinar, like I said, was like, he said that she reminded him of Yasna, or he could see Yasna in her, and she said she'd never been given a higher compliment. Yeah, tears in my eyes. I'm having such a great time. I'll probably be back pretty soon. I'm gonna cry. This is really intense. Hello, it's the next morning because I ended up kind of just being burnt out of reading last night and did not finish, but I have finished this morning, so I want to give you a little update on some of my thoughts and feelings that I had while I was finishing. First of all, the interaction between Elhokar and Kaladin when Kaladin was coming to rescue him, and Elhokar was like, why am I so bad at ruling? And just Kaladin realizing that Elhokar was trying was just very, very emotional. And then his realization of, like, Dalinar and Elhokar being him and Tien was just, God, it was a lot. I was very, very emotional. Also, called it. Syl, back, baby. Back and better than ever. She did, like, kind of almost die. So, like, that is true. But, you know, she's back now. So I didn't have to have any kind of fear because I refused to acknowledge how sad I would be if she was actually gone. Then, at the end, with Yasna being back, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I cannot wait to see what they are all gonna do when they see her again. Now, her and Wit. The epilogue was her and Wit chatting, and that's, like, how you find out she's still alive. And she is gonna be making her way to the Oath Gate, and I'm very excited for that. Now, on a more serious note of, like, my experience reading overall, I do think I'm gonna end up giving this, again, a 4.5. I just don't think either of these have quite hit a full 5. I am going to round up to a 5 just because the effort and the expansiveness of this story is worth 5 stars. Like, it's so well written and well plot out and well designed. I don't know. I just feel like there's so much opportunity for a future one to really hit that 5 that I am going to stick with a 4.5 rounded up. I genuinely was sick with anxiety at some points. Like, there were some points that I had to close the book because I was just like, my heart is palpitating. I'm not going to be able to handle this. So that is a sign of good writing. The other thing that I just appreciate so much about Brandon Sanderson, since I've been on this Sanderson journey, is his appreciation for women and just how female characters are written for a high fantasy series written by a man. I don't think that all other high fantasy books written by men are always going to be negative about it, but they always use pretty stereotypical, really dark situations to be like, look at how strong she is. She went through this and blah, blah, blah. And like, his female characters do go through dark things, but they're just way more unique. And I just think that he does it in a way that is really respectful, and so far in all of the series I've read of his, the women blow me away, and I appreciate that. Please keep doing the good work, Brandon. I did think it was funny. My newer friend Cheyenne over at Cheyenne Books, I will link her down below, but she had said that when she read Words of Radiance, there were parts in here that had her like jaw-dropping shocked, and you know what? Yes, that did in fact happen. So I'm excited to see her reaction to this video. I hope you're watching this, Cheyenne, and then I can't wait to talk about the rest of the books together because they're just so good. With that, though, I am going to go ahead and include in this vlog me reading through the novella that is 2.5 after Words of Radiance. So this one is Edge Dancer. So I'm going to go ahead and read that real quick. I probably won't jump in a ton, but I'll come back, give you a couple updates on my thoughts, and then we will close out this vlog. So I will see you hopefully by the end of today. Hi, I'm just coming to end this vlog now because I finished Edge Dancer. It was fine. It was pretty underwhelming. There were some parts that I didn't think it was the best writing. But you know what? I mean, he has such an expansive collection of things that he's written that I'm bound to not like one or two of them at least. So, you know, it's fine. We keep trugging along. I at least like the character-ish. So, you know, it is what it is. But that is complete. And so I've completed Words of Radiance, part 1 and 2. That all in this vlog. Thank you so much for watching if you're still here. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you want to see more from me. I will be putting out my Oathbringer vlog next Tuesday. So I will see you next week, or if you jump into any sprints, I will see you then. I'm gonna go read. Bye!